The Pokemon World Championships are in just a few days, and we're gonna get to go.
So, what are we most looking forward to at this year's World Championships? I myself am excited to go back to the Pokemon Center. As you can see behind us, there's quite a few little trinkets that we got last year. We got a lot of plushies. We got this Gyarados up here. I'm really excited to see all of the new exclusive merch for this year's Worlds. They've shown a little bit of it in the preview, and it all looks really fun and cute. Last year, we didn't have a whole lot of room in our suitcases. The Gyarados took up quite a bit of room in our allotted bags coming home. But this year we've paid for a bag that we are planning to keep mostly empty until we can fill it with all of the things that we purchased. RIP to my wallet.
Yeah, no matter what you plan to spend, you're gonna spend way more at the Pokemon Center.
What are you looking forward to?
Honestly, I don't want to sound too competitive, but I'm really excited to see how the season wraps up. Since we got to go to Worlds last year, and then we're coming to Worlds this year, we went to our first regional, tournaments this year as well, a couple in between these world championships. So it's just been really interesting to watch how it has changed from last year to this year, moving from Scarlet and Violet to Champions. So I think it'll be really interesting to just kind of see how this transitionary period is kind of wrapping up for competitive Pokemon, and then to see what the future is bringing as well. So I think it'll be a really interesting tournament in general as far as the competitive goes this year. We also want to talk about a little bit of predictions of what we think will be happening with the competitive play of Pokemon at this World Championships. Let's start with what Pokemon you think are going to be either at the top usage or just win overall. What's gonna be at the top, you think, this year for the World Championships?
I still think King Gambit is going to be at the top usage wise. Just such a strong Pokemon right now in the meta. And so many of the regional tournaments, if you look at the usage, King Gambit is always up near the top if he's not number one. And he just has such a good top cut conversion as well. If you look at so many of these Victory Road tournaments and regionals, you'll see, he'll be in the top three, maybe around 30 or 40%. And then you go to top cut and it's like 60%, 70% King Gambit of teams in the top cut have King Gambit. It's just such a meta defining Pokemon that I feel like there's no way it's not going to be on a lot of teams.
Will whoever wins have done a bunch of cookery and come
Yeah.
up with something crazy, or is it going to be these tried and true things so far for this format of champions, like the King Gambit and Charizard, Aerodactyl? I feel like are really popular, so I wouldn't be surprised to see those, especially for the megas. Do you think there's any realm in where Staraptor, even Raichu, have good performances at this Worlds? I feel like those are kind of the only recent additions to champions that have
Yeah.
made any sort of impact, or do you think it's all just gonna be same as it was when it started?
I think it'll be a lot of Charizard. It's really interesting because this meta has been around for a long time. This is like the third season, I think, that we've been on MB. So it's been, I think, since mid June that we've been on this meta. So it almost feels a little bit stale to me. Like you see so many of the common culprits up at the top. So I am really interested to see if anybody can cook up something crazy. But I do think Charizard is still kind of the mega to beat, in my opinion. But I think people are going to be ready for that. So it could be that we don't see any Charizards in the top because everybody's prepared for that. But I do think the last couple months people have been trying to make non-Charizard teams work with success. But I also think part of that is because people have gotten bored of this meta and want to try different stuff. Mm-hmm. But now that we're at the World Championships, people want to win. Mm-hmm. They want to bring the best team that's going to give them the best chance to win. So I do think that Charizard is going to be a big part of the top cut. There are 5 Pokemon that have won the World Championships 3 times. Only one of them is legal in Champions right now. Do you know who that is?
I do not.
I bet you could guess. Wolfie's favorite Pokemon of all time.
Incineroar. He's won 3 times already?
He's won 3 times already. Wow. Just since Sun and Moon. Yeah, Incineroar could create the 4-win club this year. He would be the first one to win 4 World Championships. And I do think it's very plausible for him to do so. I think early on, people were kind of saying, oh, he's falling off. He's not as good. King Gambit's too good, and you don't want to give him Defiant Boost. But ever since then, he's been slowly ticking up, getting more results, still proving that Intimidate is a really good ability. Having Fake Out, having Slow Parting Shot, just all of these factors combine into one of the best VGC Pokemon of all time. And my bold prediction, I don't know if you can call it that bold, is that he wins his fourth this year and creates the 4-win club.
I think you're right. It's going to be hard for him to not claim a victory.
Do you have any bold predictions?
Honestly, I think it'll be interesting to see like what Floette does at this tournament, just because it was so popular for a while and like was at the top of every tournament for a while. But I feel like lately it's been a little less usage. But like you were saying earlier, like I think people maybe have just got bored, but now that they want to win worlds, you're just going to go with the strong power, and that is strong power in the Floette. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some Floette, rise back up to the top here at Worlds.
So last year the finals was all USA. The year before that it was an all Italy finals. So my question for you is, will there be an all country finals again this year? And does Japan make it back? It's been 2 years in a row that they haven't won it, which is uncommon for them. Usually it was on in every other year. It was between Japan and non-Japan winner of Worlds for a while, and now it's been 2 years in a row without a Japan winner.
Honestly, I could see it. I feel like they're probably pretty hungry to take that title back after it's been so long for them. But it's tough to call. I would not be surprised if there was not a sweep, either. Who do you see at the top?
I do think that Wolfie wants to win this year. It's exactly 10 years since he won Worlds in San Francisco, the same place. So I think that storyline really would be a fun one.
It's too good for him to not.
Right. I can just already picture the 4-hour-long YouTube video that he posts. I won Worlds exactly 10 years after winning the first time.
And I'm pretty sure that would make him like one of two people who's won multiple times in the Masters division. Yeah, it would be awesome if he won just for that alone. But it's definitely going to be some heavy competition.
Yeah, there's just so many good players, and so much of Pokemon comes into, did you pull the matchups that are good for your team? Did you get the flinch when you needed the flinch? Did you
not get flinched?
Make the right predictions at the right time? There's just so much that can go right and so much that can go wrong that it's so hard to predict who exactly is going to win. But I do think Wolfie has a good chance. I think Michael Kelch is a name to watch. He's always been up there in the Worlds. I feel like he makes top cut almost every year at Worlds and just hasn't ever pushed all the way to the top. So I could see him getting his first win. He's been performing consistently well in doubles and singles all year. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Could Gio even pull off the back-to-back that has not been done since the beginning of VGC? For the first season that Ray Rizzo did it back-to-back, and then it's not been done again. Like, there's so many possibilities. All of these players are so good that it's possible that any of these people could win. So it'll just be so fun to see, and I definitely think it's going to be something unprecedented that happens, no matter what it is, whether, it's Japan coming back after not being on the podium for 2 years, or Wolfie winning again at 10 years later, Gio getting a repeat win. Like, it's going to be an epic year, I think, for the Pokemon VGC tournament.
All right, one last prediction. Where do you think Worlds is going to be next year?
I have a crazy prediction and then like a more realistic prediction. My crazy prediction is I think the Pokemon Company is going to try to bolster the Latin American presence. And so I think it would be awesome. And I won't be shocked if they do like Brazil for Worlds. That would be so cool. Like a part of the world it's never been in, but it has a pretty decent, following there. They have their international tournament every, season as well, like NAIC and EUIC. They have the Latin American International. So
it's always in Brazil.
So I think that if they were going to go like crazy big left field, I think that would be a really cool spot for them to do it. My maybe more realistic prediction is I could see them going back to like Orlando, Florida, somewhere over on like the East Coast of the US. What about you? What's your prediction?
My wild, I guess, international prediction. Well, both of my choices are actually international. So my crazy prediction is Italy. I think it would be really cool. I think Italy, the VGC scene has really
Yeah,
exploded
true,
in
that's
Italy.
true.
I think it could be cool to be in Rome or anywhere in Italy, but I think it would be a fun place to visit and a bit more, centralized for people coming from Europe and Japan. Obviously, they're trying to focus on North America right now. I'm sure they make a lot of money off of Americans.
Hmm.
So my other prediction is a Canada pick. I'm going to go with Vancouver over on the West Coast. Could see them doing Toronto as well, um, but I think it would be cool if they want to keep it in North America, but get out of the USA for
Hmm.
once.
So yeah, that's our World's 2026 predictions. Um, be sure to like, subscribe, follow along. I think I'm definitely going to try to be recording some stuff so that we can do a little maybe like vlog-esque post afterwards, just to show what we got up to, maybe show off some of our merch that we get from the Pokemon Center. So definitely stay tuned for an update from Worlds.
Comment below what you're most looking forward to at the World Championships and if you're going to be watching on the YouTube stream or Twitch stream.
And we'll see you next time.